guys, I'm Diane and this is Narrow Dreams. Back in February, when we definitely decided that what we wanted to do was sell up and live aboard a narrowboat, we probably didn't realise there was as much to learn as we've later discovered that there is. We'd been thinking about it for sort of 4 or 5 years, but as I said, back in February we sort of made the decision that yep, this is what we wanted to do, this is what we were working towards, and initially we gave ourselves 2 years to get everything in place. As we started looking into it, wandering up and down towpaths, visiting marinas and brokers, talking to people who have got boats, who live on board boats, we realised that we couldn't really stretch it out 2 years. We were far too, I'll say enthusiastic, other people may say obsessed. I'm going with enthusiastic, we'll stick with that today, shall we? And so what we've now decided is we're actually currently decorating all the house. I love colourful rooms and things, so I'm absolutely hating the fact that we're having to paint everything cream, but you know, that's what we've got to do to sell it, so that's currently what's happening, and we're hoping to become liveaboards by next spring at the latest. We have seen a couple of boats already that we really love. Unfortunately they're not going to be available by the time we're ready to buy, but obviously that's just what happens. And what we've found is that, you know, looking at the ones we've looked at so far, there are lots that we've liked and lots that we could have sort of put an offer on, so hopefully when we get to that point there will still be lots and we'll still find an ideal boat for us. So as I say, there is an awful lot to learn, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about how we've been doing that. Now I've been reading, me and my husband Neil have been reading lots of magazines, lots of books. I'll cover those, you know, the ones that we've found really useful in a later video, but today I'm going to talk about the YouTube channels that we've been watching. Now I'm making this YouTube channel as a sort of record of our journey, really. Anybody that's sharing that with us, you know, massive thanks for watching. But we have found watching other people's YouTube channels, most who are boat owners, quite a few live on board, a couple are in the process of either getting a boat or getting it to the stage where they can live on it, but their experience and the things that they're willing to share with the YouTube community have just been absolutely invaluable. So I just wanted to sort of give you a top 10, if you like, and so I'll talk about the channels. They're in no particular order, but I'll talk about the channels that we've found really useful. It would help us greatly if in the comments you can, if there's any that I've missed that you really enjoy following that's particularly about narrowboating, if you just pop down the name in the comments at the bottom, that'd be great. Or if you've started your own YouTube channel about narrowboating, pop that down there and have a look at that as well. And I will put the links to all the channels that I mention in the comments under the video. So I've got a few notes, because if I don't have, I will just forget. Somebody, I know I will. So the first one I want to talk about is the Narrowboat Experience, and that's 2 lovely girls, Anna and Kath, who live with their 2 cats, Munchie and Alice, and they're fantastic. They're just really entertaining. It just gives you a real taste of what life is like for them on the boat. They give a lot of information on various jobs that they've done on the boat. They're currently renovating their bathroom, so we've had, you know, the perennial narrowboaters topic of toilets. They went to the Crick Boat Show. That was really interesting, quite entertaining watching them trying to carry said toilet. But yeah, just a really watchable channel. Really, really enjoy watching that one, and just love Anna's artwork. She actually does do some of it. You can see some of it on the videos. Love it so much I actually bought it's only a little card of some of her artwork a few weeks ago that I'm actually going to put in a frame to put on our boat when I get it. Maybe when we get the boat and I see what space I've got, I can actually get a bigger one. But yeah, they're great, so I would recommend the Narrowboat Experience. So you've just seen Anna's artwork. So the next one I'm going to talk about is this narrowboat adventure. That's Jasmine and her partner who are living aboard their narrowboat. I just love her narration style. It's really just it's like she's sitting in your living room talking to you. She's really chatty, really friendly. So and she talks about what they're doing on their narrowboat, the good things, the bad things. She sort of takes you out on journeys with their narrowboats, and it's another channel that we've found very useful, very informative. She's even done a cooking one where she's been using the tomatoes that she's grown on the top of her narrowboat. So just really nice, really watchable channel again. So then we come to the Minimal List. This is a great couple. They make the videos together. It's Michael and Joe, and they're aboard their narrowboat Perseverance, and they're going up and down the canal network, as everybody else does, sort of finding little jobs that need doing on the boat, talking you through that. They did a toilet one, everybody seems to do a toilet one. They've done a one about batteries. They've just got a spaniel called George, and we're quite interested. I mean, as I said earlier, Anna and Kath on the Narrowboat Experience have 2 cats. We will be moving on board with 1 elderly Labrador and 4 mad cats, so we're quite interested to see how people manage with these dogs. The dog on the Minimal List is very new to them, so it's quite interesting as well to see how they're coping with a new dog that they're not used to, and a dog that's not used to a boat either. So it's it's very useful. But again, just love their style. They sort of chat together. Again, it's like a conversation, and they talk you through everything that they're doing, the good points and the bad points, because we're not wearing rose-tinted spectacles. We realise that there is going to be a lot of hard work involved. There's going to be a lot of things that can and probably will go wrong, and we're going to have to deal with that, which is why we're doing all this research and why we're watching all these channels. So that's another one, the Minimal List. Then there's the London Boat Girl, as the title suggests. This is a girl living on a boat in central London. We're looking at mainly sort of living in rural areas. The marina that we've identified that we do want to live in is actually in a small town, but like most marinas, it seems very rural while you're actually on the marina, because obviously it's next to the canal and whatnot. So it's interesting for us to see the difference between the city living on a boat and hopefully what we will mostly experience. But we do want to eventually sort of travel all the network and go to London and to Birmingham and to Manchester, and we want to experience those urban environments as well. So it's really interesting to watch that. She also goes out and shows you what she's doing on her sort of days off the boat, which is interesting as well. Then we've got a narrowboat thing. This is actually one of my favourites, probably because they're travelling around the northern end, sort of Yorkshire, well, mostly Yorkshire actually, and that's the area that I know. So a lot of places they visit I know where that is. We can go and visit those places if something looks particularly interesting. They're not liveaboards, but they do take us on their weekends and their holidays. And again, they've got a great style, chatty. They sort of do it between themselves, and it's really informative because, you know, they've just done a bedroom makeover, so you get to see the way that things are done differently on a boat to how you would do them in a house, which obviously that's the sort of stuff we're going to need to know. The next one I've got is Journey with Jono. This is a very interesting one because I don't think we could ever do this. I don't think we know enough, and we're probably just too long in the tooth and too old to live in this way, because what Jono's done is he's bought a sail away, so that's like an empty shell of a boat. It has got insulation on the walls, it's got an engine in. Other than that, it's not got an awful lot, and he's fitting it out as he's living in it. So he is continuously cruising, he's moving around the network, he's going to different places, and he's fitting out his boat while he's doing it. And he's doing all this with the company of a lovely black lab called Molly. So again, you know, we like to see how the pets do. Lots and lots of useful things again. And he's got a lovely, gentle narration style. It's really soothing to watch him, and we just love all his videos. Then we come to the first one that we ever watched. This was recommended it was actually recommended on a Facebook group that I'm in. Again, part of the process of learning all about it and researching what is involved in this sort of lifestyle. And the first one we ever watched was Cruising the Cut. Well, I mean, what can I say? It covers everything you could ever need to know. He's very entertaining, great delivery style, very, very professional in a good way. But, you know, I think if we would have only ever watched this one, we would have learnt everything we need to know. It's fantastic. But we also found a lot of the other channels through David mentioning them in his videos, so you know, that's really great. And that's why I've said, you know, if there are any favourites that you've been watching that we don't know about, if you pop the name of that in the comments, then we can find some others, because it's just great to watch them. It is feeding the obsession a bit, but you know, we'll find other ways of doing that if we don't find other videos, so we may as well just make it easy, hasn't we? So another one that's touring the northern end of the network at the minute, again, so you know, we know a lot of the spots, is Robbie Cumming. Robbie's fabulous, really funny. Sorry Robbie, but I really did like the bit where you drop your hat in the cut. I think we all did. But you know, again, lots and lots of information on things that you need to know if you're going to be making this a lifestyle that you want to follow. And I particularly love, I'm not saying this says anything about me, but I particularly love his pub of the week section, because that's just great. And again, a lot of the pubs we know. Actually, one pub, I'm not going to say which one it is, but one pub he went into recently is actually owned by a friend of my brother. So great to see it mentioned on Robbie's video. But yeah, we really, really like that one. And then there are two more that I'm going to mention that we've only recently discovered. Really enjoying them, but not had a chance to watch an awful lot of them yet. Some because there isn't an awful lot, you know, they've maybe recently started, and the other one because we just haven't had a chance yet, we've only just discovered this. So one of those is Narrowboat to the Deep North. Their boat, Britannia Marlin, is being refitted. They bought it as an empty shell, not like Jono's, that's a sail away, but theirs is an empty shell because it was a victim of a fire on board. So it was gutted. So they're actually bringing it back to life, if you like. They've not actually got it on the water yet. All their videos are about the fit out, But if you manage to go along and catch some of their videos, I particularly like the one where they actually set a tent up in the middle of the boat so that they can spend the night. But because it's not fitted out, they actually put a tent up and they stay in the tent in the boat. But there you go. And the last one I'm going to mention is the Tiller People. The Tiller People is, it's great. It's Keith and Bernadette, who, again, they're not liveaboards, but they are sort of taking us around the network on their travels. They've been boating for years, apparently, so obviously they know an awful lot. But the thing I love, apart from all the journey in, and you can see where they're going and the lovely places that they're visiting, I love all the history that Keith gives you about all the different places that they go. I'm a bit of a history buff myself, so I find that really, really interesting. So if you get a chance, you know, have a look for some of these videos. As I say, I will drop the links to them in the comments. If you're watching me, to be honest, you've probably seen all these, but if not, you know, you can pick up from the links where you can find them. And as I said earlier, if you've got any that you particularly love, drop that down in the comments so that I can take a look at those. I would love to see them. Or if you started your own channel, drop that down and I'll have a look at that as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.